Hey everyone, welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. Today, we will learn about some SQL Joins interview questions and answers. That said, if these are the type of videos you'd like to watch, then hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to get notified. Just for a quick info, if you want to upskill yourself, master business analytics skills, and land your dream job or grow in your career, then you must explore Simplilearn's cohort of various business analytics programs. Simplilearn offers postgraduate programs from Purdue University in collaboration with Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Through this program, you will gain knowledge and work-ready expertise in skills like prescriptive and predictive analytics, regression, classification, and over a dozen others. That's not all. You also get the opportunity to work on multiple projects and learn from industry experts in top-tier product companies and academics from top universities. After completing these courses, thousands of learners have transitioned into a business analytics role as a fresher or moved on to a higher paying job profile. If you are passionate about making your career in this field, then make sure to check out the link in the pinned comment and description box to find out a business analytics program that fits your experience and areas of interest. Now, without further delay, let's get started with the first question in the docket. So the first question is, what are joins in SQL? To keep it simple, when you have two different tables, let's say you have a student database and you have a school database, right? So in student database, every class will have their own, class table. Let's say class 1 table, class 2 table, right? So that student database might be in any class. Let's say class 10. So the particular student database that you are accessing is based on class 10. And the class 10 student database might just have the roll number, student name, and student address or student marks, right? But if you wanted some additional details, let's say parent details, parent address, current address, etc., right? And related to the parents, maybe about their education level, etc., that might be present in the school database. And now you wanted to extract that particular data using a student database, right? So there you might want to join the student table with the school table, right? Or you want to connect them both and extract the details based on one single primary key, which happens to be the student's ID, right? So this process is called as joining tables in SQL. So what are joins in SQL? Joins in SQL are used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. Common types include inner joins, which match common values. Left join returns all the left table and matching from the right, and right join is the vice versa. Join, left join, right join, and join. There are a few more. Let's have a look on that. What are the different types of joins in SQL? So the answer for this question is looked at it, which retrieves row with matching values in both tables. Left join or left outer join retrieves all the rows from the left table and matching rows from the right table. Right join or right outer join retrieves all rows from the right table and matching rows from the left table. Full join or full outer join is the one which retrieves all rows where there is a match either in the left or right table. And the two more other joins are cross join, which returns Cartesian product of both tables, and self join is the one which joins a table with self based on a related column. Now, if you look at these images, you can get a detailed idea. So, inner join will give you only the common values between both the tables. Left join will give you the common values of left table and the common values which are in the right table. And rest of the values in right table which are not common between the both will be excluded. Similarly, the right join. So, it will give the values from right table and the common values between right and left, and all the values which are not common between right and left will be ignored. Now the full join is something where you get both, all the values of left and all the values of right. Now let's get back to SQL Workbench and try to execute or try to create some small tables and try to execute some common join functions. So I have already created a few tables. So we are in SLP database and I have created 3 tables. So we will get on and why did we create 3 tables. So similar to school and student database, I've created employee details table first. So this particular employee details table will have employee ID, employee name, age, department, salary. So I have inserted about 10 values into this particular table. And similarly, we have another table which is employee register. So we will be having employee ID, employee name and contact number, but not the age, salary and department values. And when you come to the third table, which is about employee register, we have employee ID and employee name and his contact number. Yeah, this particular table is the previous table, which is employee register. We are inserting values into it. And the third table is here. After all these queries, employee joining register. So this particular table will have only employee ID, employee name and date of joining. So the three tables, employee details, first table, employee register, the second table which will have name, ID and phone number, and the third one is employee joining date table which will have employee ID, name and joining date. Right. Now we will try to build some joins here. Right. So we have extracted some data which is present in the first table. So the first table will have these data and the second table will have these data. And now let's say I wanted to extract all the details. Now in the first table we have seen we have employee name, ID, age, department, salary, but contact number was missing. Right. Contact number is in second table. So what am I doing here is I am extracting the values. ED is employee details as ed.empid and all other details, and employee register er.contact number from employee details as ed and employee register as er. Now I am performing a join operation here, which is a full join or common inner join, right? So join emp register on emp id ed.empid, that is employee details.empid is equals to employee register.empid. So this is the common value between the both. So based on this, we are completing the join and we are selecting these values. Now if I execute this, I'll get a big table with all the details of first table and the second table. Now let's get back to the next question. Explain the difference between inner join and left join. The answer is inner join returns only the rows where there is a match in both tables, while left join returns all the rows from the left table and the matched rows from the right table. If there is no match, null values are returned for columns from the right table. Right, when we discussed the types of joins, we came across 4 different joins. Similarly, the first one, which is inner join. So inner join returns only the rows where there is a match in both the tables. Let's say I have common values in table A and table B, right? So only those common values, right? If I say there are 10 rows in the first table and 10 rows in the second table, let's say we found out 3 rows which are present in both table A and table B, then the join will yield in only those 3 rows, not all the ones. But in left join, what happens is, let's say I join table A with 10 rows and table B with 10 rows, and we find out there are 3 common values in the left and the right. So what it will do is, it will first throw me the 10 values from left table without excluding anything, and it will also give me the matching 3 rows from the right table, and it will exclude the remaining rows, which are 7 rows which did not find a match. Those will be eliminated. So that is the basic difference between inner join and left join. Let's see if we could demonstrate an example based on the same. Right. So first we will try to perform the left join. Next we'll try to perform the inner join and see what are the results. Right. Let's write the code somewhere here in the end. So here again we are considering the first 2 tables, employee details and employee register. So we are trying to extract all the values from both the tables, and I am using inner join here. So it will throw me the values which are common in both. So basically all the 10 IDs are present in both the tables, so it should commonly give me all the 10 values. Let's try to execute this. So there you go. You have all the 10 values here which are common in both the tables. If I just remove this inner join and rename it as left join, it becomes a left join. Right. Now let's try to execute this. There you go. We have the table which will yield me both the values from left full table and the matching values from the right table. So this is how the left join and right join works. And now let's proceed with the next question in the docket. So the next question is explain merge join in SQL. So what is merge join in SQL? So a merge join in SQL is a method of combining two sorted tables by matching the values in specified columns. It's efficient because it exploits the sorted order, allowing for a faster comparison and merging process. So let's say we have two different tables, and it's not common that sometimes you get values which are the primary key values. Let's say we have primary IDs, right? So it will be in common as sorted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let's say there is a situation where employee IDs are randomly inserted 15, 1, 14, 13, 3, 5, 6, something in that fashion. In such scenarios, you cannot expect it to work faster. But when it comes to merge join, it will combine both the tables, sort them, and it exploits the sorting order and compares the results and gives out the answers. Let's see if we could try an example based on merge join. So you can just replace code, and instead of inner join, left join, you can just keep it as join. So by default, whenever you write join, SQL will consider it as a merge join. So merge join syntax is kind of similar to the join function. If you just run this code, you will get the details in sorted order. Right, now let's proceed with the next question in the docket. So the next question is explain the difference between left join and right join. The answer is left join or left outer join. It returns all rows from the left table and the matching rows from the right table. If there is no match in the right table, null values are returned for columns from the right table. The result will set always includes all rows from the left table. So in case if there is no match in the right table for the values present in the left table, those particular rows will be replaced with null values or any values, and it will not miss any of the values from the left table. Similarly, you can consider the vice versa for right join. Returns all the rows of right table and matching rows from the left table. If there is no match from the left table, null values are returned for columns from the left table. The result will always include all the rows from the right table. So a similar syntax is also included in the bottom. Now if we go to the sixth question, what is a hash join in SQL? The answer for this question is a hash join in SQL is a method for combining two tables by hashing the join key columns and then matching the hash values. It is particularly useful when joining large tables or when there is no pre-existing sort order in the joined columns. So hashing is a process of indexing, right? Similarly, when you are trying to join two different tables using hash join, it will automatically index, and when there is no pre-sorting, it will automatically sort the order and give the result. Now let's try to look at the next question. Can you explain nested join in SQL? So the answer is nested join in SQL generally refers to multiple levels of joins or subqueries, creating a hierarchy of relationships between tables. This can involve combining multiple subqueries or joining to achieve the desired results. So if you have a brief idea on subqueries, like whenever you are trying to extract a value from where condition, and when the where is finished, where clause is finished, you will have a query encapsulated in brackets. Similarly, when you're trying to join two different tables, you can encapsulate join query. So let's look at an example for the same. Joined two different tables, employee details and employee register. So here in place of join, where you have to add the second table, I am adding or I am encapsulating a new join, which is extracting the values of all the employees where department is equals to IT. Now let's run this query and see the output. There you go. We have the output, and here we have the result of two different tables, and the details are from employee or department IT itself, not any other department. And with that, let's proceed with the eighth question in the list. Write a SQL query to join three tables. So far, we have tried joining two tables, and remember, before we started with the session, we created three tables. So that is the reason why we created three tables. So here we will be trying to join another table along with the first two tables. So for that, let's try to write the answer, or let's try to write the query. So here we have the sample query, which is select employee details from ED, which is the first table, ER, which is employee register, EJR is employee joining date or joining register, which is our third table, and this is the code for it. And if we run this, we will be able to join three tables: employee details, employee register, and employee joining register, and we can extract these particular details which are present here. Let's try to run this query. So here we have the same query. We are trying to extract all the details from all three different tables. So the salary, department, age, name and ID will be the first table, contact number will be in the second table, and joining date will be available only in the third table. Now, if we run this query, we will be able to join all three tables and we will extract all the details that we need in one shot. There you go. And now with that, let's proceed with the next question. The next question is, how can you join a table to itself? Let's say if you wanted to join the first table to itself for a different reason, like when you are trying to extract some data, there are scenarios where you want to join the table to itself and extract the required data. Now let's try to execute that. To join a table to itself in SQL, you use a self join. This involves aliasing the table with different names and specifying the join condition based on columns within the same table. So far we have seen, right? When you are trying to refer employee details table, we are aliasing it as ED, and when we are trying to refer to employee register table, we are aliasing it as ER. And for employee joining register, we have aliased it as EJR. Similarly, if you want to self-join a table, then you can maybe call the first table ED as ED1 and ED2, and it will be creating a second instance of the same table. Now, if we execute a small query based on this, I think it will be a little easier. So here we have a common query. Here you can see we are trying to refer to the table employee, and here we are having the alias as E1 for the first set of values and E2 as alias for the second set of values. So based on manager ID and employee ID, these two tables will be connected. And now let's move on to the next question. Now the 10th question is a little advanced. The question is how to structure the data to support join operations in a one-to-many relationships. So there are multiple types of relationships, one-to-one. So out of those, the one of the relationship is one-to-many. So if you are trying to execute one-to-many relationship, then if you are trying to those particular tables, then how could you structure the data? So the answer for this question is, in a one-to-many relationship, data should be structured in a way that allows you to establish a connection between records in the two tables. Typically, the one side of the relationship, the parent, should have a primary key, and the many side, which is the child, should have a foreign key that references the primary key in the parent table. Now, let's proceed to the next question. Explain neutral join. The answer is, a neutral join in SQL is a type of join that automatically matches columns with the same name in two or more tables. It eliminates the need for explicitly specify the column in the on clause, right? Whenever we are trying to connect both the tables, we will use an on clause. So it will explicitly, it eliminates the need to explicitly specify the columns in the on clause, simplifying the join syntax. The resulting output includes all columns from both tables excluding duplicate columns. Now, let's go to the next question, which is, what is a non-equi join? The answer for this question is, a non-equi join entails pulling data from multiple tables by using the inner join. This type of join matches columns between two tables on an inequality using operators such as greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, not equals to, between, etc. Let's say when we are trying to extract the details based on salary or based on certain number, right? When the salary is less than 1 lakh or when the salary is greater than equals to 50,000 in certain scenarios, or if the value is in between a certain X and Y, whenever we are using such conditions with the where clause, in those situations, we will be using non-equi join. Right, now let's move on to the next question, which is about what makes a union clause different from join clause. Now the answer, first one, join. Essentially, join allows you to combine data into new columns horizontally. A join clause is a SQL command used in order to combine records from multiple tables or retrieve data from these tables based on existing of common value. Right? So whenever you are trying to join two tables, this is what happens, which is represented pictorially. Right? If a column or if a table has 3 columns in the first table and it has 2 or 3 columns in the second table, then you can get the combined volume of 6 columns in the table, in the resulting table. You can also get less than that based on the requirement or based on the output requirement you have. But basically, this is what happens. And when it comes to union, this is what happens. Union is you will have the same column headers here. You can just add on few more rows to it. In SQL, the term union is used to combine the results of more than one select statement. Union allows you to combine data into new rows vertically. Union requires that all queries have the same number of columns and order of columns. Here, the visual representation can help you to understand it. Now, the 14th question. Is it mandatory that the join condition is based on equality? This is a tricky question. So the answer is really simple. No. It is not strictly required that the join condition is based on equality. While equality conditions using equals to are the most common and straightforward, you can use other types of conditions in certain situations. However, the semantics of the join will depend on the specific condition used. Now, the last question for the session today. Explain CTE or common table expression in SQL. The answer is, a common table expression CTE in SQL is named temporary result set that you can reference within a select, insert, update, or delete statement. It simplifies complex queries and enhances the readability of SQL code by allowing you to define subquery and refer it to multiple times in the main query. And with that, we have come to an end of this session on SQL Joins interview questions and answers. If you have any query regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require the resources like the PPT or the query document that we used in this session, then please do let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to help you as soon as possible. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.